Are you new to Bitcoin and don't know where to start? Don't worry, this is the perfect video for you. By the end, you'll understand what Bitcoin is and why people invest in it, how to buy it safely, and the exact steps to protect it. Let's start right at the beginning. Bitcoin is digital money, but unlike pounds in your bank account, it's not controlled by the government or a bank. Instead, it runs on something called a blockchain, which is basically a giant digital record that everyone can see but no one can change. There's one really important thing about Bitcoin. Only 21 million coins will ever exist. That scarcity is a big reason why the price has gone from pennies to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Imagine if there was 21 million houses in the world and more people wanted to buy one. The price would naturally rise. Here's Jack Mallers explaining why Bitcoin is so scarce and why you need to own it.
Do you envision a future where Bitcoin treasury companies such as Strategy, Mara, and you guys end up buying so much Bitcoin that there really isn't actually much left out there on the open market for people to trade? After all, it is a fixed number of Bitcoin, so no more will be created once it reaches that number.
Right. You know what's fascinating about the asset, and it's not intuitive because it's so rare, is that, to your point, it is definitively scarce. So if everyone in the world wanted an iPhone, Apple could make more. If everyone in the world wanted a McDonald's cheeseburger, McDonald's could make more. The fact that Bitcoin cannot increase its supply means the new supply comes from the market. If you want more Bitcoin, you don't go to the Bitcoin factory to get one. You have to go up in price. Is there enough Bitcoin for me at 120,000? No. Okay, 130, 140, 150. So I tell you what, there's always Bitcoin available. Just depends on what you're willing to pay for it. And so what I think will happen is this price will continue to discover higher because Bitcoin is the scarcest thing. It's inelastic to the amount of demand that searches for it. So the amount of buying power that we're seeing from the capital markets, from the ETFs, and potentially from nation states like the United States, I think they'll find the supply they're looking for. They're just going to have to go get it at a higher price.
Now, why should you care? For one, Bitcoin can act as a hedge against inflation. When your money in the bank loses value because prices are going up, Bitcoin is designed to resist that. It's also global. You can send it across the world in minutes without needing a bank. It's a part of a bigger strategy. They put everything into Bitcoin. It has the potential for huge growth. In a minute, I'll show you how to actually buy Bitcoin step by step. But first, here's Michael Saylor explaining why you should have Bitcoin.
Bitcoin represents the greatest digital transformation of the 21st century. It represents digital capital. The global wealth is distributed across assets that provide utility and others that preserve capital. But risk is destroying trillions of dollars of that capital every single year, and investors are turning to digital capital in the form of Bitcoin in order to avoid that risk. Digital capital is economically and technically superior to physical capital, and it represents a revolutionary advance in capital preservation. The asset class itself is growing from trillions to hundreds of trillions of dollars, and it is backed by digital power along with political and economic power. Bitcoin's the best asset you can own. The numbers speak for themselves. It makes a lot more sense to buy Bitcoin than to buy your own stock back or to hold Bitcoin rather than holding bonds. If you're going to outperform, you're going to need Bitcoin. Luckily, you have an alternative. Public support for Bitcoin is surging, as is support for the U.S. Bitcoin Strategic Reserve.
Sell them into Bitcoin. That way, we wouldn't have to use any new dollars.
As is Wall Street support.
I believe Bitcoin is legitimate.
And the President of the United States says,
never sell your Bitcoin, right?
That's why we're entering year one of the crypto renaissance. And you have a choice to make. Cling to the past or embrace the future. Divest billions of dollars and slow your growth rate. Invest billions of dollars and accelerate your growth rate.
Alright, so let's go step by step through the buying process of buying Bitcoin. Choose a trusted exchange. Platforms like Coinbase, Kraken or Binance, they are popular. They let you buy Bitcoin directly using pounds or dollars. Verify your ID. Just like opening a bank account, you'll need to provide proof of ID. This is for security. Deposit the money. Deposit by credit card or bank transfer. It's really easy. Don't worry about buying a whole coin. You can buy fractions. They're called sats. You can put £10, £20. Once you've bought Bitcoin, the next step is storage. You have two main choices. Keep it on an exchange. This is easy but risky. If the exchange gets hacked, your Bitcoin could be gone. Or you could move it to your own wallet. A wallet is like your personal vault. There are mobile wallets, desktop wallets, and hardware wallets, like Ledger. Remember the saying, not your keys, not your coins. If you don't control your wallets, private keys, you don't truly control your Bitcoin. Here's the mistake beginners make. They buy a bit of Bitcoin, then they panic sell when the price drops, or they try day trading without knowing what they're doing. A smarter strategy is something called dollar cost averaging. This simply means buying small amounts regularly, weekly or monthly, no matter what the price. Over time, this smooths out the ups and downs and removes the stress of trying to time the market. 2 quick tips before we wrap up. Never share your wallet's private key. That's the master password to your Bitcoin. Anyone with it can steal your coins. Stay patient. Bitcoin is a long-term game. Don't expect to double your money overnight. But if you learn and stick to your plan, you'll be ahead of most beginners. And that's Bitcoin for beginners. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps to grow the channel. Subscribe if you want more beginner-friendly crypto guides every week, and drop a comment below. How much Bitcoin would you feel comfortable buying as a first step? £20, £100? Let me know and I'll reply to as many as I can.